Welcome to session 48 of Adventures in Aanthara. I've missed you all, even though I see many of you on a daily basis. What has happened recently? A lot. After tracking the assassins and the kidnapped Hugo through the mountains for upwards of 2 weeks, the Twilight Heralds discovered the hideout and infiltrated quietly, set up an ambush, and then battled. It was scary, and there were attempted self-murders by certain people who persuaded other entities to try to kill them. But turns out she was fine the whole time. And then, after the party was victorious, they made their way down to a holding area under the upper part of this strange hideout and found Hugo in some sort of makeshift study almost within this cave, surrounded by books and apparently having been tasked with research. The party had a long conversation with him about a number of things, including what their plans would be in the next day or two and how to best handle getting Hugo safely somewhere, and also had quite a bit of lore dumped on them by Hugo as a result of the research he's been doing. And then they finally had some time to wind down for the night. Faye played some music, and the last thing we left off on was Sam having a bit of a memory spark / deja vu kind of experience. So that's where we pick up. What would you all like to do? You have not technically had a long rest yet. It is still night. If anything, or we can just actually go to bed.
Sam eepy.
Anybody have anything? Okay. Then you actually can take your long rest.
Oh, thank God.
I have
You
never
have the
had
lowest
so
hit
few
points.
spell
I
slots
had
open at the end of the
15.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a short rest. Oops.
I think Faye had 16. Did you have 16, Faye?
I had 16.
You had 16.
Yeah.
I had 15. Oof. We were all very beaten, were we not?
Mm-hmm. And after this long rest, Anneka, I need you to roll.
Wisdom.
Mhm.
Was it just a check or a saving throw?
I believe it's a saving throw, but let me double check. Hiya. It is a check.
Okay. Only have advantage on saving throws. Ooh, natural 18 minus 4
It's
for
not
14.
a saving throw.
Oh,
It's a check.
still, I have a
So whatever you
negative.
rolled first.
Oh, sorry, it's a negative 2 for 16.
16 is still enough. I believe. One sec. How many points do you have?
I have 3 currently.
Oh, then it's not enough. Okay. You stay at 3.
Sweet.
And the rest of you wake up in the morning feeling pretty jacked up, but recovered to a degree. What would you all like to do?
We have everything we need.
Did you guys pack up the books last night? I can't actually
Mhm.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
Yeah.
all it all in the bag of holding.
Okay. And Nas, I believe, did a cursory search of everything in the cave and came up with a bunch more stuff. So you have that.
Which, in
I have 200
case,
pounds of books.
in
This
case
is the
everybody
thing. Oh yeah, let me
forgot,
add that to the party fund real fast.
party fund increases by 50 platinum, 250 gold. Then each individual person gets 14 platinum and 40 gold. The Geiger portal rod goes to Eclipse.
Okay.
Everybody should have one greater and one regular healing potion as well, except for Brightwing. Brightwing should only have one potion of healing, I believe.
I don't think I.
Regular.
One regular, yeah.
Okay. And Eclipse, you should be able to find that if you don't have it already.
Yeah.
Geyger.
Is it a? It's not attunement, right? It's
Not a two.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And it was just the rod. There wasn't anything else, right? For me to take.
If everyone's okay, I will take the immovable rod.
Okay.
I believe the daggers and ring were spoken for. And then
The sickles?
the sickles, sorry.
Yeah.
With Sam. And then the circlet Faye has.
Yeah.
Which leaves the immovable rod and the soul shear.
Are you attuning to that circlet, Faye?
That's a conversation.
Okay.
I guess I would pull out the orb.
Mm-hmm.
This belongs to you. Hand it to Hugo.
It does.
It's given us quite a bit of peace of mind, but I think it would serve you better than it's served us so far.
To your knowledge, those who came from me don't know of you. Is that right?
The assassins seemed to be aware of us, but it's unknown how much information they were able to pass on about our specifics to their superiors. He saw me, the Emberblade, during the fight, and he told me that he had believed me to be dead. So he had some knowledge of who we were.
Do you believe
not this
enough
one.
to be familiar with you and to enable someone else to be familiar with you?
It's less of a concern right now.
The close proximity that I had with him, I was invisible. So if he's seen me from a distance, I don't know. Or any of us, really. We don't know how close they got to us before the night you were taken. That would have been the only time that they were really in any proximity to us besides last night.
You weren't in Leah for long, and we didn't see them in the day or two before or during your time. It's possible none of them ever saw you. Neither of them.
It's guaranteed that Cyrus would have, though. But he's currently incarcerated.
Do you know if he has the ability to make contact with someone?
He has one of those... What were they? Eclipse? The things that they put on him? stop his magic?
Oh, the shackles.
Oh,
He's not capable of doing anything right now.
the guard have him.
Would that mean that if somebody were to try to contact him, how Brightwing and Faye are able to, that he wouldn't be able to respond?
Could certainly try.
I don't actually know how they work exactly. It's possible if they create an anti-magic field of some kind. I would assume so. If they only prevent him from using his own magics, I would assume not.
I had him under a compulsion while he wore the shackles, and my compulsion remained.
Then that would suggest not. Which
Because
means,
if we wanted to test, we could always try.
Oh, you mean try to reach out to Cyrus?
Mhm.
Oh, let me do
Just
it.
to see what happens.
If you want to do it right now, I mean, if you don't think you're
I-
gonna need that later.
I could always get it back. Gonna tap the pearl.
You trying it right now?
Thinking of what to say. I don't want to scare him to the point where he won't respond.
I think you talking to him at all is probably already in that option.
True.
oh,
I could do it if it's the fear part.
That might be safer, actually.
Okay. It just depends. I only. Sure.
We don't have to do this right now. It's not exactly that
It's
big of a
true.
deal.
It's true. Yes,
Why
I
don't we
can.
do this tonight if we have time instead of
Okay.
doing it right now?
Mm,
We don't know what we're gonna deal with today.
Alright.
that's true,
Okay.
especially if we head out of here.
I think at any
Mhm.
rate, similarly with what we had before with Faye and the orb, with Jet now being no longer, it might be best to have Hugo be the one to carry the orb at least. To assure he can't be seen.
I agree.
It's both a good and a bad because if we lose track of him somehow, we're not gonna be able to find him.
Well, we
We
can
have
still
somebody that
contact.
can find him easily.
Who is that?
Right.
Going to look at you directly.
Yeah, that's fair. I meant of the magical means, but I don't think we have anything for that at the moment.
I can locate creatures, but they have to be in a certain range. But if he is on the other side of the country, I would not know.
Yeah. I'm fine with it for now, but it's definitely something to be aware of.
you might have to double check to correct me if I'm wrong, Leah, but I believe that spell is also divination magic.
Locate creature?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it?
Which
Then
means
it
it-
would
It
not
is
work.
immune, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. By the magical means of
inferring-
locating him.
If he wandered off, you could follow his tracks.
Oh, yes. It's like,
That part I'm not worried about. It's if somehow... I'm just
Yes, I
paranoid.
could track
Ignore me.
and travel for that.
I admit the reason I offer this back to you is a bit selfish. Unless anyone else would like to carry it, I would very much like the chance to test this circlet out at some point, but I'm unable to connect with the magic right now. I'm a little tapped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine if you want to pass it to somebody else. It's just...
What is the circlet?
It allows you to cast a spell that can negate another spell. Something I can't do, but I've read about it.
That's really cool.
it's cool until it happens to you. And then
Is that what they did
Uh-huh.
before? Oh, that was not cool.
If you believe they don't know you as well as they know me, which seems I would assume whoever is looking or would care to look is familiar with me, obviously. Then it does seem perhaps wiser for me to carry it.
I think so. I think whoever would be looking for you would probably attempt to contact Flint or Jet first. If they attempted to contact them in the way that we can contact them, they would know immediately that the target did not receive the message, and would probably then, if they had the ability, look for you. I do not want to run the risk of you being outside of the range of that thing.
Well, I acquired it for a reason. I would be happy to have it back.
I did also tell the guard, because they were looking around the office, that we were taking it and not to mark it as known. So it shouldn't be made aware outside of us that you have that.
Understood. I'll likely be having a conversation with the guard at some point, if I make it back.
When?
Eventually.
That is the question that I was going to ask. Have you all...
Oh, I just meant when in lieu of if.
Oh,
Yeah,
I certainly
But-
hope so.
definitely a win. Well, if we were gonna go the staying hidden route, Hawkholm might be wise to start.
It's a place I trust, at the very least. Not that everyone in every place can be trusted.
Especially right now. Well, so we want to head out now, or did you guys want to do something else?
Well, I can do many spells now or later. It just depends. To speaking to the robots, dead robot, now, and then I could also. Well, I've never done it before, but I think I could do something that is very similar to what Shorashana did, but just get a reading from the wilds to see what our best path forward would be.
I won't say no to that.
I would trust your wisdom on that. I will, as an aside, just for your edification, and I don't hold this against you, I assume your background is much different, and I also don't hold much sympathy for those creatures. But robot would be a bit of a slur for a soul forged.
Oh, I am sorry.
But don't apologize to me. Just be wary if you're calling someone out in the world that.
Alright,
Yeah, I
Thank
guess
you.
that's pretty fair.
so should we do the talking now or later?
I think now is good.
Also, how's Sam doing? Before I do any of this.
How is Sam doing? What is Sam doing?
She's still real bad. Same kind of look from yesterday, at least mentally, that you can see Brightwing. She's nursing her bottle of bottomless coffee, and just trying to push herself out of her current scenario just for a moment to try and gain any semblance of quiet, but it doesn't seem like it's doing much.
Alright. Then I will go up to Sam. I had different spells I want to use, but this one I know for sure will do something. We'll test them out later, I guess, Anneka, because I can only prepare so much. I will go down and go and either see if you're okay with me touching you.
Kind of look up at you very angrily, but she's allowing you to
Then
do whatever.
I will touch either forehead and start like a gentle wind, cool breeze will flow over your face as I cast calm emotions on you.
Okay. Sam,
Yes.
you are at a tier where you need to make the save.
Oh, it's that bad?
Oh,
Yes.
also it's not touch. It's a 20-foot cube, so I guess everyone else
You
has
can
to roll
still.
for it.
Oh! I imagine she's probably in the corner of the room, so you can probably pull it off without hitting everyone if you want.
If anyone's a 20-foot spear.
Dude, I need to roll like a 19 or a 20, yeah?
Well, no, you need to fail. You want to fail.
Oh! That's a natural 2! -2.
Okay, yeah,
For
that's a
0.
fail. Okay,
Yay,
you
failure.
restore 2 points from that.
Oh! That's big.
That is big.
It's very good. Where am I at now?
Yes.
You're at 5.
I'm up
which
a
moves you
tier.
up. Mhm.
Oh, that's so good.
Brightwing, roll a insight check.
Ah. That's not very good for me. Sorry, not on my thing. What are skills? Here. That'd be a 16.
Okay. As you go up to her and prepare this spell, you see redness in her eyes and even a little bit of glaze over them. And as you cast the spell, and there's just a general tension in her form. You saw it yesterday much worse. And as you cast the spell, some of that glaze fades away and some of the tension seems to loosen a little bit. She still seems stressed at the very least, to put a word on it, but a little bit better off.
I could
takes
do
a
it again.
Deep breath and relaxes.
If
You can do it
prefer.
again.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was good.
I'll cast again.
Okay. Make the
Okay.
Oh,
you
that
don't
was
have
way
to make
good.
the save.
Okay.
Oh, let me
It's
double
just a
check.
fail.
Let me double check. But I
For-
believe if you are at that tier you're in or above, you don't need to make it. Yes. You can fail it
Okay.
willingly.
I fail it willingly.
Okay. You get another 2 points back. Doing a little better.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'm sorry, this is all I can do.
It's more than enough.
I will see if I can try to find a remedy of the mind.
Me too.
Okay. If you need
Thank you.
anything, I can make more of that tea if you need more rest.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Alright. Would you like me, the rest of you, like me to cast the divination spell?
The what?
What?
Very fair questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spell.
Oh, the
What?
wilds. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, it just depends. There's two questions. I can only ask them one. Because I only have that much power to connect with him for that amount of time. And I guess it'd be better for you, Eclipse. The first one that comes to mind is, would it be better to put your father into protection or to hiding? Or which path we should go, to Hawkholm or straight down mountain?
I think we're definitely putting him in protective custody. We don't.
Okay,
That's not up for debate at this moment.
okay. Then, is there any other question you would like clarification or a direction in? Or is the better way?
I think direction's okay. It's kind of. I don't know if it'll make our decision for us, but it'll definitely be another vote in a certain way.
Alright.
So.
Anyone else have a inkling? That's how you say yes?
No, I trust you.
I think the rest are for you.
Okay. She seems a little too excited to do this.
Mm.
So she'll sit down, and I will take out some incense, and I will take out. Ooh, Matt, we can do it. We can do it now. Hold on. Gotta go.
Woot.
Go here. Okay. She'll take out a small feather. She'll take out a small seashell, a small broken piece of rock. She'll take out a small broken bark. And I wanted, Matt, if it was okay, I'd also get a gear from one of the bodies.
Ooh.
Like a little gear.
Okay.
That's okay.
I am going to say you did this last night, I would assume, so you could have set
Yeah.
it up. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say you will need to roll an investigation check. You can acquire some help if you want from your
One
companions.
had a spine ripped out, and the other one was decimated beyond
Yes.
repair.
This is primarily about finding either a piece that's been scattered through the cave or within the wreckage finding something that would fit your needs.
Can I have help?
I
Do you
can
want
help you
someone else?
out.
I was gonna say.
I can help.
Okay.
You should help.
I
Okay.
should help.
I could cast locate object, but that just seems
I'm
like
sure
a
there's
waste
one
of
on the
time.
ground when I ripped that guy's head off, but like, yeah.
Yes.
There are probably some scattered about. This is about finding them. The DC's not super high, but if you have help from Sam, you can roll with advantage.
Oh, I can't roll on my own to help
Well,
her?
if you just want to take over the search for her, I mean that could be a thing.
If she asks for a gear, I'm gonna fucking find her a gear.
Okay.
Damn, girl, thanks.
All right, you can roll then.
There's no shit roll?
No, it would be with advantage because you have Brightwing's help.
Oh, yeah. 25.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
You are very easily able to find a what seems to be probably iron or steel, about the size of a nickel or a quarter, somewhere in between there. Gear.
Here you go.
So you have that.
This is perfect. Okay.
So you can add that to your list.
I'll add that. I need to add 2 of them to my list, and I haven't picked a rune for it yet, so I will pick a rune. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Well, she'll put a rune on it. To be determined later. And she'll add it to her.
You should have put a rune on it.
And then I'll light the incense, and then I'll get down and meditate, and I will cast divination
Okay.
through the wilds. And I will ask the wilds. Let me go to my list. Thank you very much. I'm gonna make sure I know how to say this. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity. Activity. to occur within 7 days. Okay. The GM offers a reply. The reply would be, okay, I was saying, Wilds, we are going on a journey and we need directions and the best foot forward. Should we descend the mountain as we climbed, or should we head to the nearest city of Hawkholm?
Okay. You all watch Brightwing set up this ritual and speak quietly, almost under her breath, in a prayer sort of way. And then a moment passes. And then you all hear and feel this whistling wind that blows in from the tunnel where you entered. I'm assuming, are you guys in the little room with the table? Is that where you slept?
No, we were outside.
Oh, you've gone outside.
Yeah, I thought we were, out.
We slept in the upper
Gotcha.
story.
Yeah, you slept upstairs.
In the
We
Because
went
cabin.
out
you were
that
talking
direction,
about
went
going
back in.
outside. Yeah, but you determined that staying in was better. So,
Okay.
Brightwing, where are you casting the spell? I guess is useful to know. Just up there where you were, in this little hangout area.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so you all hear this, and it whistles through. You hear it. You hear the sound of wind, but you also hear this whistling as it passes by small holes and crevices in the cave, and then blows through the door where you all entered, and all of you feel your hair tossed up if you have hair long enough to be tossed up. Your clothes flap for a second. You see Hugo grab the table nearby, looking a little like he doesn't get powerful spells cast around him all the time. And then it sort of dies down. And as it dies down, Brightwing, you see this small feather float down and land right in the center of your ritual. It looks to be perhaps the feather of a falcon or a hawk.
I'm not as wise as Brightwing. It's to interpret what this means. So, what's the insight on this?
Roll
Man,
a
that's
wisdom. Oh no, wait, no. Brightwing would know.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, Brightwing would know. So it's a hawk feather, Leah.
Oh, duh.
Hawkholm.
You said falcon. I was like,
hawk or
I
falcon,
didn't-
close
Yeah.
enough to the same bird.
Yep.
Got it.
Hawk would have some words with that
I was
statement.
gonna say,
I
it's
said
like
close
really any
enough. I did not
ornithologist.
say they were the
I-
same bird.
I
Holy
focus on
shit.
falcon and not hawk. I focus on
No.
falcon.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand.
I wonder what it would have done for Leah.
Mm.
That's interesting.
She'll pick up the feather. Look at her clips. I believe to the city we should go.
Okay, so we've got mythical wilds for one for Hawkholm. Does anybody else have any objections with the mythical wind?
Also, I will point out before anyone else adds, Leah, as Brightwing, you would know the nature of this spell is such that it gives you it's the best assessment as of
Yeah.
right at this moment, but things can change. That it's not like predicting the future necessarily. It's saying as of right now, this might be the wisest move. So Leah or Brightwing would know that.
I think I'm kind of in shock. I'm along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry, was it too much?
no. We
No.
just have a lot to
Just-
think about right now. If that's... I'm not gonna argue with the wilds on that one, so...
For a reference, this isn't prediction, this is just a push in the direction they think would be the best.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't... I'm not gonna take all-knowing advice from the wind, I'm sorry. But if nobody has any immediate objections with it, I don't see a reason to argue
It
with
does
it.
not know everything.
Well,
No,
of
Mhm.
course.
I think it may also, if we just, if and when we decide to return to Olea, it would provide the safest route back.
Correct. So, I guess we're heading out. When we're done doing...
Do we want to ask questions now or later?
I really don't think we should do that in the middle of the city.
I also don't think we're going to get there tonight.
I also don't think that Flint can actually talk.
Fuck.
I also did not experience that at all. And I was with him for some time.
Do we want to try the other one?
I would. There are. I guess here's my question. Brightwing, you described the spell as something that could be cast on the same creature repeatedly, correct? But with a refresh period?
Yes, to connect with a spirit, not even spirit, a corpse. It takes it's necromancy magic. It's not. It needs time to rest again.
What is that rest period?
A little over a week, about 10 days.
Okay. One of the questions that we had discerned with Hugo's suggestion, or we had considered, I guess, with Hugo's suggestion, was to ask them specifically if they were responsible for the deaths of the political figures that have recently been assassinated, so as to stem the tides of war, as it were. But will whoever responsible for, like, changing or doing anything believe us if we're like, yeah, this talking head told us that they killed that person? Like, or would we have to ask that question in their presence?
I believe I can speak to that to perhaps a small degree. I am quite well respected in those circles, and knowledge, research, truth is a large part of what I do. If I witness it, and I bring that witness to the right figures, I believe it would hold some weight.
Didn't you also have a truth compulsion that you had used at one point, or was that Rylus? Am I getting confused?
No, we did at the office.
Yeah.
But you had an item for that.
I do.
Others could
You-
probably... That's probably something that's readily available amongst political social circles.
There are casters capable of it, yes, along with items like the one I have.
Can you compel a corpse not to lie?
Let me check before I give you an answer to that question, Jessica.
Wow, did not need the whole
Eh.
note on that one. That was really weird.
Jessica?
That was really
I was uncomfortable.
I am going to say no because or at least on something like Zone of Truth, which is also applicable to the item, it's a creature, and this is not
Yeah,
a creature. This
that's
is
what I
the
was-
corpse's memories, basically.
I think we had also covered that at one point, figuring out if a corpse and a creature were the same thing, which they're not. So-
I think there was talk of whether you could
Yeah.
command it. You can't
Yeah.
do that either. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's...
I mean, we
We
could
could
just
wait.
try it with me just asking now and see if it would respond to just me asking. In truth.
And that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to reiterate and make sure that we were all aware of, if we wanted to ask more questions, that there would be a bit of downtime before that option was available again, and make sure that that option was available again, because that would probably change the weight of what we asked.
Well, would it want to repeat itself? Because maybe it'll tell us, but then if we take it to an official, it will lie and tell someone something that they want to
Well,
hear.
a corpse doesn't presumably have memory after its death. It's only recalling the information from when it was alive, so I can't...
So it shouldn't remember being asked to begin with.
Yeah. That's a hot take. I can't see a corpse holding memory. It could remember us because it knew us when we were alive. When they were alive.
Okay. Yeah, as
Is
long
that a
as it's not going to
worry?
backfire in any way.
It can recognize. Is that a concern?
I'm sorry.
If it can recognize you and it knows you from life, is that a concern for getting information?
It can be. It does not have to answer, and it does not have to tell truth.
But whoever casts it has to be the one asking, correct?
Yes.
Well, I would be curious to see what we can get out of it.
Yeah.
If
I'm off
if it lies to us, if it doesn't like us, if it chooses not to answer us, at least we've still got the head. We could turn the head into someone that's more important that this creature is unaware of, and say, "Here, have at it. Good luck."
That is very true. Yeah.
Alright. What am I asking it then?
Look over at Sam.
Side eye at Sam.
You had mentioned that you were after them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have questions?
I have one question and the rest are situational, depending on that answer.
And I will follow up with, would you prefer, upon asking those questions, that you and Brightwing were the only ones in the room?
It's fine.
Alright. So we can reserve 2 there. What are the other 2?
3.
We
It
get
is
5, don't we?
questions. Yes.
Oh, that's understood. My biggest question, I worry they don't know the answer to, which is why they had you, pointing at Hugo, researching the Elder Relics. I feel like they may be the type just to follow orders and not question.
I would tend to agree. They may know something about the background of the situation, but I don't know if they would know the reasoning.
I'm concerned about the symbols. They're tied in multiple areas to a lot of what's involved, especially with the children. But we don't have any reliable information about anything, but one was carried by Cyrus, who was in connection with these 2.
It is worth noting these 2 do not have symbols.
Let's call that a burn question, then.
It just occurred to me.
Hmm.
Well, we could start with what we have. Does it last in a certain period, or do we have to ask very quickly, or?
I believe it is just the 5 in order. It will stay around.
You have 10 minutes to get all the questions out.
We have 10 minutes. Ignore what I say.
Okay. I'm sure we can figure that out in 10 minutes then. Get the first 2 out, kind of gauge what's going on. Figure out the other 3. We just won't.
Well, and the answers may lead to more questions, and we could decide at that point if we need to change.
So I'll pull out a piece of paper and the quill, and I'll just say we'll write them on here, and then we can indicate so we don't waste anything. Kind of write it out, and then when we decide one, just circle it and have them ask.
Alright.
And so I'll write out the first 2 and circle each one so we have them out there, and then make little dots for the rest of them so we can fill them in after.
Yeah.
Alright. And who are we asking? Jet?
I think Jet's our option.
Alright.
Pull Jet's what's left of his head out of the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it there, I guess.
Like, set it up.
Okay.
And I'll look at it, and it looks kind of sad, and I'll pull one of the hats out that I got, like the big floppy, like Three Musketeers style hat that I had acquired a while back with the feather in it, and put that on his head.
Okay.
And I will set up new incense and burn it around. And it's going, and I'll sit in front of Jet, the head, with the hat.
Should we angle it? I'm gonna like kick it to the side, and then like get behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sit on the other side of the table across from it so that
Yes,
we can just kind of flip the paper towards her so she can read it, and then
I would also
Okay.
not have Hugo in the view.
no.
Hugo is stepped like 10
Okay.
yards away.
Yeah,
Right.
he is not
Um,
invisible eyeline at all.
So
No.
she will. It's just an action, so she'll just hold her hands up. She'll close her eyes, reach out.
Minor illusion, a wooden wall in between her and the head.
Oh shit.
Never heard me talk.
Just so it can't see her.
That's not true.
It's still.
Hmm.
I don't know if it'll work. Gotta try stupid shit.
I'm reading. 1 second.
Maybe like a tent wall.
Corpse answers are usually brief. If you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy.
I could also, given the situation, I could also put the head in a box with silent image, and as long as everybody knows that it's an illusion, they can see through it, but if the corpse doesn't recognize it as an illusion, they can't see out of it.
Interesting. So you want to put it in darkness, basically?
I want to put it in darkness, if I can. And I will use silent image to do that if I need to.
Okay. How long does silent image last?
10 minutes.
Okay, well, that fits that at least. Are you casting?
I
I'll
will
cast.
cast it.
Oh, you're
Okay.
casting. We're both casting.
Okay, so you initially, Brightwing, see a box appear around the head, and then instantaneously recognize, given that you watched Nas cast, that it's an illusion, and it fades. You see the head again.
Alright. She will close her eyes, and as she closes her eyes, that same black stuff that when she does inflict wounds starts to creep. Her feathers start to turn black. As she opens her eyes, they're just bright white. And looking into the box, so is Jets as they're connecting.
Okay.
as she uses necromancy magic.
Mhm. Okay.
And what are the questions, everyone? Is it the ones that you gave me before, or do we switch it?
I think.
Question
we gonna start with Sam?
was-
You want to start with Sam?
Start with me.
All right,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you need to send me it.
I will.
Okay.
Those are the questions.
As the spell connects, Brightwing, you see that white from your eyes reflected in it, and then through the white, you see a boom, 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 slight reddish glow in the center as it connects and draws the spirit back. And you hear no breath, but there is a movement to it.
And I
Yeah,
ask
she-
you the questions, or I tell you the questions through the mind link. So you hear
Ooh.
this staticky voice in your head as I read out the questions that I sent you.
So she, and I would say as Brightwing talks, it's like multiple voices talking at the same time. Have you done work regarding the Rorik family?
Okay. Roll I'll say a general charisma check. This is somewhat to pass yourself off in a way where it has any interest in talking to you, even though it doesn't know who you are, can't see you necessarily. DC is not super high, but
13.
okay. You see the jaw unhinge slightly. Flint and I did work with the Rorks more than once.
Hey Anna, you're conditional. Do you want me to change that?
The multiple, yeah.
What were the jobs?
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to roll an actual persuasion check, because this is delving into information that it wouldn't just hand out willy-nilly.
Can we get some of that inspiration? We could have done that before. I can't cast guidance on myself because I'm in the middle of a spell.
This spell is not concentration, actually.
Oh, guidance!
Oh, we talking? That's
Yeah,
right,
that's
I'm
a
bard.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
And
All right.
it's mentioning
Inspiration
if you
isn't
say
used
some-
just to change things to charisma saving throws. It actually has a purpose.
But also, you might blow your cover. So
You might blow your cover.
If I pass guidance on myself?
No,
No.
you
I will
can
do
use
a
inspiration
silent-
right now.
Interpretive birdie dance behind
Oh,
the head.
Oh my
Inspire,
god.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The chicken
Is
dance
it a D8, right?
Mhm.
Okay, right. When you have a D8
Last
and a
10 minutes.
D4.
That last 10 minutes. So if you
Yes,
would like
it does.
music now,
Everything
you
is 10
can.
minutes.
Wow!
Episode
Okay.
title: 10 minutes.
I gotta take a picture of this. This is wild.
Is it wilds?
Wild.
It's not wild.
Yay.
Wild. It's gonna be
How
good
much
enough,
you owe
y'all.
me a soda, Matt?
Pop.
Hold on.
Got him.
I
Not
You owe me
rolled.
pop.
Diesel.
Justice for
So,
Faye.
I didn't roll great, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I rolled a 4, but I rolled a
Plus.
4 on the D4, and I rolled a 4 on the D8.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So I feel like that should account for something bad.
Is that right?
It would in 4E if you rolled stuff like that, but unfortunately.
If you were playing poker, it would be good.
Isn't that great?
Oh, man. You can't gamble right now. It's not time. Oh my god.
It's not
Take
yet.
that shit.
Yeah.
What is that
So-
total?
4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12. So 13 is the persuasion.
Okay. Various. Some protective, some enforcing, some escort.
Do I ask the second one, Anneka?
The rest of it are for everybody else.
So 3?
You have 3 left.
3 left. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say these names right.
What?
Feels like it's accurate for Brightwing, so.
It's accurate for Leah. Did you assassinate Rygar Ice Scale? Or Brylevi? Oh, I can't say that.
Brilvia.
Brilvia Storm.
I 100% believe that Brightwing just said everything exactly like that. You hear what is this odd, creepy, somewhat mechanical seems like something adjacent to a laugh, but in a weird way. Perhaps our greatest feat.
That's a yes. Alright. What do you know of these symbols? And I guess I'll have someone like
The silent image inside will show the 3 symbols that we have collected: the flame, the pentagon, and the hourglass.
Okay, you can change it while it's up.
It says I am able. Let me. Use your action to cause the image to move to any spot within range. As the image changes location, you can alter its appearance so that its movements appear natural for the image. So if it is darkness, or the interior of a box, could I make it look like there are symbols associated with it?
Interesting.
If not,
I will have you roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
This is an somewhat nuanced manipulation of the magic.
That's a natural 19 for a dirty
Okay.
20.
Okay.
I'll use my
You
book for 24.
okay?
Ooh.
Are there what are the components of that spell?
For silent image,
Mm-hmm.
VSM.
Okay. So you all see and hear some muttering and movement from Nas, and then don't see these symbols because you all have seen through the image. But there's a pause. I know. And if you ever learn, you will likely meet me in the afterlife.
Yikers. Okay. Alright, last question. Why was Hugo required for the research of the Elder Relics?
He is a valuable asset for work like that. Perhaps one of the most valuable. And it was useful to have him under our thumb. That's it. And the lights dim.
Farming blinks, the black fades. I think she coughs a bit, and her eyes return to normal.
What answers that?
You see Hugo was notating throughout that, rolls up a particular piece and slides it inside his coat. That could be incredibly useful information in the right hands.
All of it?
I don't know, it seemed to get more vague, but the confession. The only I hold sway in Kathos, and important figures will likely grant audience to me and credence to my story. That does not mean that it will remove any tension from the other realms. I'm sure that the leaders in Kathos will make known what they can if I pass this information along and it lands with them. But others may see it as a ploy. This does not guarantee peace, but it is a useful step.
Seems better than leaving them to their own devices.
Certainly. Things have not been trending well.
There would have to be some weight with Kathos, one of the people that had a leader dispatched, coming up and saying this, though.
Also, we haven't heard. Obviously, we've been in the mountains for the last several weeks, but is there any plans for succession?
There are elections that will be held, yes, and there are stand-ins when someone of importance in Parliament dies. In Vordon, things are more complex. I believe they will gather all the heads of the families and choose a new Elder Hosker. But I don't know the timeline on something like that.
Do you know of anybody that was within the Kathian area that might have been eager?
You mean in gaining power?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly many. Beyond the initial succession, which is more just a placeholder, the Chancellor being dead means a new Chancellor will be chosen, and that is as powerful a position as you can have in Kathos. It is by no means the same level of authority as King Lanthier, or even the Elder Hosker. It is more of a guiding post to the Parliament as a whole, but there is still power in it. And there are many who might have designs on that position, yes.
DM, would I know who typically would shoot for a seat like that?
You can roll I will say a general intelligence check. It's a pretty high DC, but
Just intelligence?
mm-hmm.
It's a natural 19. Or 19.
Okay. You would probably have heard a few names over the course of your life of people in political stations. This chancellor has been chancellor for the entirety of your life. There would be maybe half a dozen plus that would be considered a legitimate candidate. But you wouldn't know off the top of your head who those names would be or what reasons they would have. You just know that's generally how these kinds of things would go. Moreover, while this is an answer, in some respects, it is also not, in a greater respect, possibly a more important one, which is these figures are clearly tools. They are the weapon used to kill these figures. But that hardly matters more than if we knew they were killed with a sword. What matters is who wields the sword. This information will possibly raise more questions than it answers.
Who was that family? People they had worked for before.
This is to Sam.
Yeah.
The Rourkes. Assholes, mostly. We don't exactly like each other.
Eclipse, roll a history check in this case. I will say, Faye, you can also roll it with disadvantage.
I didn't pre-roll any of my dice.
Oh, I didn't have any pre-rolls rolled either. I should do that after this. Thank you for reminding me.
9.
I got a natural
9.
20 and a 17 for a dirty 20.
Okay, the history checks return. I think you see actually an arms crossed, slight head tilt towards Sam as Eclipse asks this question from Hugo. And as you do that, you have a slight, off, out of kind of nowhere memory of that name performing for them once in Ilmara. Very, very high in the political structure of Kathos. Both of them. A couple. You said you rolled a 20?
A dirty 20.
Okay, I would say you probably even might have had conversation with them after your performance, and you remember their names, Raymond and Clara. And as you remember all this and kind of randomly clicks into your mind, Hugo, do you have dealings with them in some way?
A bit.
Those are rather high dealings.
Indeed they are.
He still is giving you like a slight cocked, pensive look, but doesn't push further.
Were they rich assholes or were they just rich?
You would not have experienced them to be assholes. You would certainly have experienced them to be rich, and you would have experienced them to clearly be very significant, powerful political figures. This was probably like a party of the high up highs in the politics of Ilmara that you would have performed at.
Mm.
And so anyone of significant sway, or many people of significant sway, would have been there, and you remember them.
Hmm.
They would have been like your very typical politician, very good at putting a presentory
There's a
image.
match.
Yes. So you didn't experience anything bad with them, but you could not even begin to guess what they're like on the inside or behind closed doors.
Well, we've got some travel and then another chance to find out who holds the sword. Maybe?
Mm.
That's fair.
I mean, if it's not Graves, I would assume that she at least holds the
Scabbard.
the rock that you use on the sword.
The wet
Pommel?
Stone?
Oh.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Great.
Give him time.
Can we get out of the cave?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to that either. You guys head out?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your intent is to head to Hawkholm?
Yes.
Okay. As you guys pack up and prepare to leave Eclipse,
Yeah.
Hugo kind of pulls you aside and behind. This is probably like as everyone's really finishing up and some are starting to head out.
Mm.
Your new, I suppose we'll call them ally for now, until I know that they are more to you.
Fair.
The Rourkes are part of a political movement in the higher circles known as the Luminaries, who believe quite heavily in the advancement, deregulation, and spread of magic in Kathos. Most would consider them the leaders of that movement, in fact. or at least those who know these circles, which is not the general public. I don't even know if your ally would know all this. The real face of the movement is a woman named Selena Varley. I only say all this because there is a great deal of inner connection, it seems, between the prevalence of magic in Kathos across a number of these threads. I don't expect you to pry information from her, but just be aware. And if there is a trust built over time, it would be useful to know what she might know or how she might be connected. There are some who have postulated, and there are many postulations at this point, that Varley and the Luminaries might have had something to do with the assassinations. Chancellor Eyescale was one of their greatest oppositions.
Speaking as adults, do you agree with them?
I have been asked and tasked since the events happened to do what I can in the role that I maintain to find answers. To find evidence. The answers are not in my purview. I believe there are reasonable pieces to this puzzle that might suggest the Luminaries would make sense. But there are others with similar pieces. Obviously, the questions of King Lanthir, given that the leaders of two other realms were killed and he was not.
I think you misunderstand my question. Do you agree with what they think?
I understand.
I will be honest with you. I get what they want. That man had a lot of conviction. And thought the scales were tipped out of the favor of the few.
As
I don't
is
think
the
I could agree
case,
with them.
I believe the man you encountered was likely an extremist. So that is worth noting. The movement in general, as is the case with most political parties and movements, is complex, and there are pros and cons to their arguments, certainly. We have benefited greatly, your mother, the two of you, the consortium, from our access to magic. Not even individually, just through our contacts, through the academy. And I have studied enough of history to know that where magic finds root and is allowed to blossom, great prosperity can result. But it is also a double-edged sword. It brings danger. Not everyone who can wield it can be trusted, or should be. They at least in the way they would present their arguments, their concern for the lesser in society is admirable. But to suggest that the level of deregulation they would fight for would not come with dangers would be foolhardy. Iceskill knew this, that's why he fought against it.
I'll see what I can do. Can't promise I'll be very subtle about it, but...
To be clear with you, especially if you're going to continue walking with this ally, and she has dealings with them. The Rorks are perhaps two of maybe a dozen of the most powerful figures in Kathos. Some would say the number is smaller. They are not to be trifled with. Wherever you leave me, which I assume will be the case, and I want you to know that I support that, given what you and your companions have done and are clearly capable of doing. I would ask that you would keep me informed as much as you can.
Always.
He kind of cups the side of your head, brushes your cheek with his thumb. I am incredibly proud of you, Eclipse.
Hopefully I can keep making you proud.
I have no doubt.
Should I get going?
He nods and walks out with you.
Did we have time in that morning, over the course of the morning, to switch the attunement to Hugo of the...
Yeah, I'll say that between waking, breakfast, and the conversation, and then a little bit of additional time potentially to finish off the attunement, you guys would be able to attune. So Hugo now has the orb, and you have whatever you switch to.
What does the circlet look like? You said it was like black metal.
Yes. Please hold. It is a dark metal, highly polished to the point that it's reflective. You can essentially see your, like, if you can't see your whole face because it's so thin, but as you turn it, you can like see your eyes appear very clearly, almost mirrored in it. Kind of more of an angular design, less flowy, and about maybe a quarter of an inch thick.
Does it look like it could be traced back to them? Does it look like them?
Roll roll an Arcana check in general.
11.
11's enough. It does not seem to be particular to them, and you would know, given your general interaction with magic over the course of your life, that items like this exist. It's not a one-off type thing, and to your knowledge, it doesn't appear to have been specially made for these figures in any way. You haven't probably seen one in person, so you don't know if they all look like this. It might be one that looks a little different than others and could theoretically be recognizable, but it doesn't seem particularly made for them necessarily.
And then how do you rule, just so we establish this beforehand, how do you rule attunement wearable items? If I were to remove the item, like take it off and put it in my bag, would I remain attuned to it? I obviously wouldn't be able to use it, but would the attunement still hold if I
would
were
say
to,
that,
like...
yes, that would be the case. You would not be able to use it unless it's on your head, but you would remain
Okay.
attuned to it, yeah.
Okay. Just in case that ever becomes important, I'd rather establish it now.
Mm-hmm. It looks to an untrained or uneducated eye on things like this like a cool piece of head jewelry. It doesn't like scream, "I am a magical item that could smite your spell out of the sky."
Well, it's not far off from the vibe, because Faye's got, like, the earring and the necklace, like the pearl cage, so, yeah.
It does more or less fit into your look in a way that's not too obstructive or obtrusive.
Cool.
Anything else anybody else wants to do as you prepare to leave? Or as you leave?
It's metal, Megan. Just gives you more of a metal
It's
vibe.
metal and it's metal.
Accurate.
True. Okay. You guys
I'll tie the
finish.
hawk feather to my staff.
Okay. Fair enough. And you guys begin trekking away from the direction you had come, eastward towards where you believe Hawkholm to be. I need somebody to roll a survival check.
Got him. Easy.
Can I use guidance?
No, she doesn't.
No. This is a long-term process of finding the right
What if I
path
just kept
towards
doing it to
Hawkholm.
myself? You don't know. Guidance.
Is there hair?
It's a cantrip, Matt.
The
Yeah,
10-hour prayer along the road for continuous guidance.
Survival, that'd be a 17.
Okay. All right. You all begin trekking that direction. It is still very cold. In fact, last night was probably the warmest night you've slept in a while, especially since you could have a fire in there. And it was protected from the elements, but it is still very cold out here, and there's some light snow even on the ground as you exit. And you guys begin trekking. First day goes by. You have really no new vision, sight of anything beyond the passes and mountains that you've been walking for the past 2 weeks.
I have a stupid
But-
question before we get
Yes.
How fresh is the snow?
Look very like it fell last night.
So it's still that powder state. You can't like make a ball out of it.
You could try. You can certainly try.
I'm definitely trying.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a con check for the snow.
Okay, that's fair.
Where's the moisture content of the snow map?
Mhm.
Listen, you gotta get the right stuff or you're just gonna fudge it up. Like, there's no... It's gotta be the right shit.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the first part of the morning, you try a couple times to find a good collection of snow, and just it's all a little bit doesn't stick together quite how you would like. You know it will just kind of explode as you throw it.
Yeah.
But like late morning, you find a small creek that you need to cross, and
Okay.
there is a pocket that's a little deeper, and you know that if you dig down a little bit, you can find perhaps something a little bit more. Combine it with some of the top, make a decent snowball, and you have something throwable.
Okay. I'll wait till everybody's across. I'm gonna throw it at Nas.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Yeah, god damn it. Is it just unarmed, I guess?
Yeah, it's technically an improvised weapon, so it'd be plus your strength, but no proficiency.
Damage with a snowball.
Plus strength, no proficiency, so it'd be a plus
Put a
5.
rock in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 7.
7?
Yeah.
Good gracious! Okay, roll a d4.
Okay. A 4.
Oh my gosh! Okay. You set up, throw, and as you throw, just a small chunk of it does crumble off because it's still not that perfect ball, and that throws the balance off, and it whisks right by Naz's ear and hits your dad in the back of the head. Megan was 1, Anneka was 2, Leah was 3, Hugo was 4. He turns around,
No, was not me.
looks across the river. What do you do?
I don't look like I did anything.
Okay, roll a deception check.
She's like wiping the snow off of her hands.
Oh my god, there's 6.
A 6? Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, white snow is very visible against black fur.
That is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going like this, and it's like clumped, like what snow gets when you do, and it's just like trying to claw it out.
Yep. Really?
I will have a ball held and ready for him.
Okay. He looks over.
It wasn't me, and I'm like grabbing some, and then
Quickly grabs it and flings it back.
No!
Well, that was a journey. Oh, 16? I think that still misses.
It does.
Okay. Well, I will say that with a 16, you instinctively raise your shield and smash, and the snow just scatters on it. Some of it ends up in the top fur around your ears, but you mostly block it.
I'll whisper to Faye and be like, "Are they arguing? Why did they throw snow at each other?"
I grew up at the beach, but I think this is supposed to be fun.
So cold. Oh.
Have you never thrown a snowball before?
I throw another one.
We didn't have
At
snow in
whomst?
Valios.
I think it's just kind of out of retaliation. Kind of like I held up the disc, and then I'm trying to make another one, and I'm just going to throw it without really paying attention.
Make an
Blind
attack.
throw.
Yeah. Oh god, they're so bad. Another 7.
Okay, I will say roll a d6 this time. A
Oh,
6 is a
no.
complete miss, but now everybody is included in this. 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Brightwing. Brightwing, this snowball comes flying across the river and just catches you right in like the side of the chin cheek area, explodes. It is very cold.
Oh, it's on. Let's go.
I think Brightwing just
Do we
turns around.
teams? Do we
and you
teams
see
this?
Eclipse, you just see the most betrayed face on her face.
I'm like,
It's
I
Eclipse
don't
versus
notice
everybody.
until
Let's
it feels,
go!
like done. Yeah. And look, I'm
Okay.
just like,
Is this full war?
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Anyone who wants to on that side, roll an attack, make a
Oh,
snowball. Eclipse, I will say, given your preparation for this, you can get off 2 throws amongst this, but everyone else who wants to is firing at you.
Okay.
Is-
okay.
I don't have an unarmed. Oh, just
Is
okay.
this my dex, or do I
Yeah,
have to
it's
use
dex.
strength?
For you, it would be strength. Yeah, you can choose
I
which
just-
one you want to use.
I just make 2 rolls.
Okay, so I can choose dex. Okay.
Yeah, make 2 rolls.
Okay. Oh, now it works.
I get a 6.
And tell me who you aim at with each one, unless they're just random fire.
Okay, hang on. They're random, so should I just
Okay.
roll a d6 with each of them?
Yeah, roll a d6 for each.
Okay.
Well, roll a d6 for anyone that's above like 12, because otherwise it's not going to hit.
One was technically an 18, and the other one's a natural 20.
Oh shit! Okay, roll a d6 for both then.
Okay, so I got a 1 on the first one.
That's
and a
Faye.
5 on the second one.
That's your dad.
Nice.
Okay, so and who over there hit? What's your armor class, Eclipse?
It's 19.
Okay, did anybody roll a 19?
I got a 6. So as I get smacked in the face, mine goes flying off.
Yep. Yours just
I
goes
think-
like almost straight up in the air.
Yeah.
I think
Goes back down and lands on my head.
right when it's like, I guess we're doing this, and she tries to clump it up, but I rolled a 3 minus 2, so it
Oh
just doesn't even
my
make a
God.
ball.
Oh no,
You
found
can use
the
dex.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you eventually get what you think is a ball, and you kind of try to like two-hand it, and the whole thing just down on your own head. 15?
Damn,
Okay,
that's a lot.
another one that you block away with your shield, Eclipse. Did you throw one, Sam?
I want to take my invisible mage hand and go clump up one behind her and then smack it right down on top of her.
Oh, shoot! Okay, I will not even make you roll.
No, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
There's enough going on.
I will have you roll a stealth check. Oh, is your mage hand invisible?
It was
Yeah,
invisible.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will have you roll a stealth check with advantage because this is just the ball that's trying to be noticed and the sound of the hand making a ball.
All right. 2 dice. Stealth is a 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
So, Eclipse, it would have honestly been cooler if you had a chance to dodge or block more of these balls, but half of the group on the other side threw them straight in their own face. One of them comes at you, whistling at you with Nas-like dexterity, and you block that one away with your shield. After the first one you threw, which clocked, was it Brightwing? No, it was Faye. Yeah, clocked Faye. So Faye, your snowball
beach
comes
kid.
back down. Yeah, almost the same
The
time as the
Malibu
other
kid.
one, just catches you right in the chest, and then you block Nas's away, and then are prepared for another one. See none. Fling another one, which catches your dad, who's now just white black mess, and then you take a moment. You're prepared, and there's nothing, and you're like, yeah, and then there's just. You feel the wet and the cold. It goes down in between your ears. Some of it goes in your ears. Some of it goes down your like armor in the back. Just utterly annihilated by some snow from above you, and you look up to see nothing.
I think she'll instinctively shake
Mm-hmm.
and just. Alright, that's fair. That's
It's
fair.
poofy.
That's really fair. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it was just really quiet. And
I think that one was from the wilds.
that's also, again, very fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How dare you hit my bird? Get wrecked.
It's fair.
Oh boy. Okay. Eclipse and Sam, both of you take DM inspiration.
Okay.
Aww.
The rest of the day, unless anyone has anything else, passes without much event. And eventually you find a place to camp for the night. Hugo, you get the sense as you go, and then especially as night comes, and like you guys are setting up, and there is a not necessarily comfortability for all of you, but a like this has become, you're used to this now, and so there's some level of like natural attunement almost to this sort of situation that you all have built up over the past couple of weeks. Hugo seems rather uncomfortable and out of place, but offers to help in whatever ways he can, which is not much.
I'll make sure
You
to make
guys-
a very warm meal.
Okay. As part of that, I will have you all roll con save.
With
With
advantage.
advantage. Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Save?
Mhm.
Save. 14.
10.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Brightwing.
Dirty 20.
Okay. 10 is the DC, and Hugo rolled a 13, so all of you are okay. Anything anybody wants to do that night?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to send to Cyrus as my discussion.
Okay. Okay.
What was I asking again?
It was mostly just
We
checking
didn't-
if you could reach him. We didn't really have a question.
Oh, alright.
It's just a test.
Okay,
Maybe just ask if he's being treated well.
Alright. Hawati, this is Brightwing. We were the ones who incarcerated you. Are you being treated well? Oh, I have more words. It's just look at Nas. What should I say? Look at Nas.
Having fun, hopefully.
Okay. Having fun?
Holy shit. That was the dickest sending I have ever heard. Oh my gosh. Just
That's why
kick
it
the
came
man
from her.
in the
Sup, loser?
balls.
How's prison? I hope life
Hey, man.
sucks.
Get fucking wrecked.
We're on a
Hi.
camping trip.
Being cursed.
Fuck you, bro.
Oh my gosh.
God, I hope he doesn't answer.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah, there it is. That makes
That's
sense.
fair.
Do not 20s.
Well, 2 15s because I rolled 2 14s. It's
15.
pretty good.
total.
I'm a cute little bird, man.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any better.
So many things to this man. You also told him his mentor was disappointed.
I did. I said, "Frick you.
He did
You're
that mean,
crazy."
Okay. You feel the spell connect. Did you ever cast sending for Nas, or was that only Faye? Okay. This is different than that. You feel a legitimate connection, but no reply.
I felt it connect, but he did not respond.
It also means that if somebody were to reach out to him, he could.
That's also
Maybe.
incredibly
Maybe.
valid.
My turn.
You're gonna send him.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, do it.
Cyrus, darling. Don't be such a stick in the mud. What's a little prison for someone like you?
Wow.
You have
Roll an
7 words. Why are
intimidation
you
check
wasting it?
with advantage.
I've said what I needed.
Be funny. Keep going.
Intimidation. 22.
Okay.
Oh,
Please leave me alone. You've already done enough. That's it.
The answer's not.
but
Well,
that
he
also
can
means someone could be sending to him.
Did he answer?
Above table.
He did.
Well, that answers that question.
I have 2 more.
Roll an insight check, Faye. Just for the heck of it.
$21.
He sounds rough. Much more ragged than when you left him.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
Well, he's not happy, but he can respond.
I
Kind
don't
of
know if
hate
that
that.
makes me feel better.
No.
Does anyone else need a sending? I have 1 left.
I have 4.
Have we sent to your mom the clips? I forget.
No,
We'd probably do that.
didn't. What was the plan? We were sending
We're
to
sending
her,
a
but
note
writing.
to
Yeah.
the commander or whoever it was.
Right. Go
And
ahead.
then
Inspector
sending to your
Kovac.
mom to let them know, yo, he's okay.
He
Right.
also got the necklace.
Yes.
Right. So,
Oh, by the way, that's his heartbeat.
yeah, I think I would probably really quickly, because I think you've all relayed how many words you get, should probably write that out. 1 second. If somebody wants to work on that fucking note, by the way, please.
Should
we
I-
already
Probably
sent
send
them out,
it.
didn't we?
Should I? Last time we talked to Rylus, it took him a day to get to where we were. Are we wanting him to meet us in Hawkholm, or are we planning on visiting with him in Elmara?
I think we should keep it to Elmara. I don't
Okay.
want to draw any.
Was the plan to go from Hawkholm to Ilmara, then to Olea? Or from Hawkholm we had mention of a circle that could go to Olea. There's no skyports in either.
I have no idea. Let me get this. She's gonna just try to.
I'd argue it might be best to have him come to Hawkholm to avoid Hugo being seen in Ilmara.
That's also very valid.
Have you all decided where you intend for this journey to end? For me, at least.
you indicated that you would be most comfortable back in Alea because of the need of a head of the consortium.
I
So-
would be most comfortable. There is no question about that. But I understand if there are extenuating circumstances. And to whatever degree it has become the truth here, I believe I am somewhat at your mercy in this regard.
That
think
does
we
not
have
leave you
enough-
without autonomy.
No. It doesn't. But your insight on this is perhaps more useful in this case.
I think we have
Would
enough
you-
weight with the guard to have him watched in Olea.
Along that line, would you feel more comfortable procuring protection from the Ivory Guard or procuring protection privately? Because that could determine where you end up as well.
If I can be perfectly honest, my first wish would be both. Even if I intend to talk to someone at the academy and find a arcane protector of some kind. I think that is going to be much more valuable given the circumstances. But either way, I will be asking the guard to assist in keeping the consortium safe, which includes myself. Whatever they can spare, I believe they will see the value in that, given the circumstances.
I guess it
There
falls
are-
to the question of why they stopped in the Kothcrest range. Why didn't they go somewhere else? That's the one thing that doesn't sit the best with me now. They could have gone anywhere, but they chose there for multiple days.
Well, I can't pretend to know the machinations behind their decisions or the decisions of whoever's behind this. But given the circumstances you laid out for me in how things went down in the consortium, I think they believed that no one knew who they were, no one alive, he glances at Faye, knew who they were or that they were involved. Had Faye remained dead, no one would have had any idea what trail to follow. And I think they believed themselves far from prying eye where they were.
But there would have to be some sort of instinct to still remain in Kathos.
Certainly. Well, it is also worth noting that where they stopped is, relatively speaking, one of the more central areas of the Three Realms. It is within a few days' travel of all three realms. That's not common. That could have been part of the strategy now that you mention it.
So hold you up for the highest bidder, perhaps?
Either that, or perhaps these two use this place more often. It did seem well stocked, and it is a sort of base for them that allows them to move relatively quickly between all three realms as the highest bidder, as you say, requires.
All I know is if you want to disappear, you don't do it in capital cities.
Speaking
Likely
from
not.
experience.
When it all comes down to it, I see that there essentially being two paths here. And this is why I value your insight. One is attempting to hide myself far enough from prying eyes that given any taps the orb, the tools at my disposal, perhaps simply no one would ever find me. But if they did, I would imagine I would be very easily acquired again. And that takes me from my work and my family. The other option is being somewhere populated enough and with enough eyes that perhaps it will be easier to find me, but when they do, it will be harder to take me. And the first time we had no warning, no expectation. That won't be the case again.
Would you like me to send to your mother?
Yeah, so she finishes the little script. She'll pass it over to you. I mean, if you want to word it better, this should fit the limit. So.
No, this is alright.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I will reach out to Mrs. Noir.
Mhm.
It's hard to say in the accent I have chosen.
As are many words.
That tricks.
Hugo has the amulet on, so the heartbeat matches his now. Don't change your actions. We will reach out again with the next step soon.
There's like a 15-second pause, and then you hear Thank you. I don't think I'll ever be able to thank you enough. I hope you will bring him back soon. Stay safe.
Melt to Eclipse. She is very grateful and relieved. And turn to Hugo. And very eager to see you again.
He nods slowly in what you, with your passive insight, can tell is an attempt at stoic acknowledgement, but you see welling shine.
I'll just give him a very respectful nod.
Well, she'll
Anything
pass
else?
that on to Luna, so that's good.
If you're asking if anything else
Mm-hmm.
that we want to do, I would like to cast another sending
Okay.
to my brother Dane.
Hey.
Okay.
Dang!
Dang.
Dang!
Dang! Dang, nabbit, get over here right now. I swear.
Oh, the amount of Southern. Bro, I can't do this. Southern is so high.
I said.
I said.
Homebrew has been ready for 15 minutes.
I swear to God.
Y'all joke now. My next character is gonna be full Southern.
beat you to it.
Mm,
I did. Unfortunately, I find myself entrenched in some political fuckery. How goes things on the war front? Is there anything you could tell me without repercussions?
I died.
No, not this one. No.
Somehow it doesn't surprise me that you're involved in political fuckery. Try not to get yourself too deeply lost in it. Things are still tense. No active conflict. But I don't know for how much longer.
Where is he?
I'll send it again. Where are you now? Somewhere relatively safe, I hope.
Is that it?
I say what I want to say. I use all of the words that I would like.
And
Yeah,
just looks,
yeah.
Brian looks so disappointed. He just goes,
Well, in terms of location, I wouldn't say it's the safest. It's rather on the brink. But there aren't many more protected cities in the realm than Hawkholm.
no way!
He's in Hawkholm.
Your brother?
Yeah.
How the wilds did chose. The
Oh.
great knight instead, did they not?
Yeah. That's fun. All right. He's
We
probably
let
busy.
them know that we are coming.
He's too busy. He wouldn't have time anyway.
He would love to see you. It's your family.
We have more important things to do.
Family's
Oh.
important too.
If time allows.
Stop trying to talk yourself out of it.
There will be time for that. Someday.
When do we get there?
About 5 or 6 days, maybe? Yeah? Sounds right.
Likely less.
Probably less.
You
I
don't know.
think You guys, someone last session, I think maybe a group of you, did some mapping and calculation and believe it will be a few days.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was like we were 2/3 of the way there, 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah.
3/4-ish.
Okay. All right. Well. Splee.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else? Okay.
I
need
would
to sleep to
find
get my spell.
Sam.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before we do that, Sam, go ahead and roll a wisdom check because you would have had a short rest in the middle of the day.
Oh, sweet. 14,
Are you at 5 or 6 points right now?
I think. Let me double check. Oh, I'm at 7.
Okay, then you succeed.
Yes!
You get 1 more point back.
Let's go.
Sweet.
I don't know what these mean, but I'm excited about it.
Be excited for me!
I know it's a good.
Be happy for me.
Oh, sorry, you get 2 more points back.
Let's go.
Even
Oh,
better.
joyous
Yay,
day.
points.
Oh,
Unless it's high
Okay.
school, the points are bad.
okay.
Demerits.
I'm slowly dying.
Aren't we?
I
all?
mean, are we all?
Slightly faster.
So I'd find Sam probably a little bit away if possible, but walking up. Do you prefer not talking about things, being asked directly, or taking the scenic route?
Depends.
Well, it's a lovely night tonight. Quite scenic. So that was a
Might
scenic
be.
route.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to feel eyes on me. And I don't like it.
Mhm.
And I apologize for looking at you in a way that I wouldn't have wanted to be looked at.
I
I just
appreciate
wanted to say that.
it. Thank you for acknowledging it. Not many do.
I hope you find it is, or whatever it is that you're looking for answers for. But reasoning is yours. And I'll just give a brief nod and then start to step away.
Just stay staring up at the sky, taking in the scenic route, and slowly head back.
You're muted.
Who would take watch tonight? Okay, Bright Wings on watch 1.
I'll take a watch.
Okay, and Eclipse on watch 3. Roll a perception check, Brightwing.
Is it the still 6 hours? So it's 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Make sure.
This would also be night 7 for my stuff.
Okay, don't need to make that roll then. This is the last one, right?
Yep, and that's a no.
Okay.
The timer starts again.
Okay.
I dropped my die. Do you want to roll it, Pineapple?
Pineapple.
Pineapple, you want to roll it? Come here. Ugh.
Cute.
Pineapple's gonna roll it.
Suddenly have pineapple pen stuck in my head.
Pineapple pen.
apple.
Pineapple.
Not like this.
Okay.
Pineapple pen.
I will send
You've
it
never
to you
seen
later.
that?
That's an
Oh
on the break
my
thing.
gosh.
That's
Yep,
cool.
yep,
Send
yep.
it to you later.
Don't watch
Okay.
it. It's only stuck in your head for the rest of your life.
You're way better at this than Elfie is.
Mmm.
Hmm.
Elfie, did you hear that?
Oh, it's smoking.
petite.
She's petite.
Oh my god.
She's
Well,
whittle.
One size will
What'd you
fit.
roll?
Whittle. She rolled a 19 plus a 9.
Damn.
That's a
Okay.
lot.
That's a whole several.
Yeah, that is a
Higher
whole
than
several.
5.
You keep an eye out throughout the night, you notice Hugo tossing and turning a decent amount, trying to fall asleep. Eventually, he does, closer almost to the end of your watch, but he does.
Can I cast Calm Emotions?
Interesting.
Okay.
Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to cast a spell?
Because it's 20-foot sphere.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't want to interfere, but I want to make it feel okay and restful. Yeah, I'll cast it.
Okay. In a way to just hit him, or are you hitting everybody? Are you leaving anyone in or out?
I guess who's ever in the sphere, I don't think she... She just goes...
Okay.
Passes it.
Okay. Interesting. Would people be making saves here? Yes. Since you don't know what's happening and it would not be willing, anyone in the radius would make a save. Unless you want to talk to them. You would know this, by the way. So if you do want to say something, you can. Otherwise, you can just hope it works.
Yeah, I guess I'll go up to him.
Okay.
I can cast something to help you feel a bit more restful if it's alright with you.
I worry that it's the general uncomfortability of this place more than my own inner turmoil, but I suppose it can't hurt. Thank
I
you.
could also make you some tea.
That actually might be quite nice.
Okay. I will make him a sleepy time tea, not as hard as I gave Sam, but a sleepy time tea.
Okay. When you give it to him, he kind of sits up, takes a sip. If you don't mind me asking, I know quite a bit, and I make it my life's work, more or less, to know more whenever I can. Very little is known about your people,
Oh,
and the little that I do know is that they are rather unlikely to venture out into the wide world, as it were.
no.
Yet here you are.
Yet here I am.
Are you the first of many to make a change among your people, or is this...
It's not
An oddity.
unheard of. It is happened, but very rare. And we're not closed off. We do have traders every once in a while that make the journey to the forest. But in terms of a client choosing to leave the forest is not the norm, no.
Is that... I hope you won't take any offense. Out of fear or uncertainty? Or is it just you prefer the home you have?
It is both. We have lived there for centuries, generations. It is our homeland. And there is a reason why it is untouched from modern advances. We take pride in that.
And again, I hope you will forgive my prying, but the wilds, I've heard you mention a few times now, and there is record of an unusual, perhaps that's not the right word, unfamiliar connection to natural spirits among your people. And he sort of, over the next like 10 or 15 minutes, we don't have to play out the whole conversation because most people have heard it all before, but you sense a very clear interest in you, your people, the kinds of things that the world at large doesn't know. You can sense there's a good amount of it that's academic, but there also is an amount of it that is like genuine interest in you, especially given what you've done for him, his daughter. Is there anything that you would withhold?
Ooh, I don't know. I would say that what she would say, if he's ever asked like history, she would just give like a history of like the wilds. It'd be like the Khaings were chosen people of when a time long ago when the world was in chaos, and they wanted a time of peace to bring back prosperity. The wilds chose a chosen people to be both nature and person, and gave them the companions of the Khaing.
Okay.
I would say that history of it and what Koyakias are. I think she would definitely withhold her own story.
Okay.
And the difference.
And your Kia?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he asked about it, it'd be a different story, but she would.
He
not
wouldn't
bring-
get that personal. He's he's interested in the general history and inner workings to a degree.
Yeah.
At some point early on in the conversation, as you are clearly like willing to share a bunch, he pulls out another piece of paper and a quill, starts taking notes. You see he's like, you get the clear academic excitement almost that he has, and drinks the tea throughout, eventually finishes. It was nice to learn something for the betterment of the world rather than whatever it is I've been studying these past few weeks. Thank you. It
You're
likely did
welcome.
more for me than your spell did, in fact.
Well, perhaps the best sorts of magic is just being with someone, knowing you're not alone.
When I sent Eclipse out on the mission that led to all of this, I sent her alone, and, well, unless you count Crater,
Of
I
course.
hope he's doing all right.
He is very funny.
He is a strange horse, but it was difficult for me. It always is. And knowing that you and the others are with her gives me some comfort. So thank you.
The wilds guided me to her, but I chose to stay.
All right, I'm gonna try to get some rest. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. And he does fall asleep pretty quickly after that. And it is the end of your watch. Who do you want to snag? I think Faye volunteered. Okay. That was definitely the wrong direction.
Oh, that's right. We're not the right. Oh, where's Faye?
All right.
E?
Below you. Yeah.
Faye,
Hello.
roll a perception check, please.
Okay. Okie dokie. Let's do the rollies. Above average. I got a 14.
Okay. Anything you want to do in particular on your watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna play roulette with the books that we grabbed from Hugo's stash.
Okay.
And when you reach into the bag of holding, it pulls out what you will it to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to reach my hand in and look specifically for a book that has information on natural magics. Faye had never heard her magic described in the same vein as sorcery until Hugo said that. And I think she would like to seek to understand that a bit more.
Okay. Okay.
Even if there's a
are
reference or something like that, I could I could do a couple, but
Are you going to spend most of your watch reading?
Yeah.
Okay. I will just have you roll a roll a d20.
I got a natural 20
Oh my Lanta.
on the Faye die.
Always.
No! This die never rolls nat 20s. This was a risk.
Okay. You find pretty quickly a couple different breakdowns of magic on Faynir. And there you find histories of beliefs on magic and their sources and studies, scientific studies, philosophical postulation about where it comes from, how it works, and the different ways of splitting it up or categorizing it, classifying it. And it used to be the case, you find, that most people believed bardic magic was more similar to wizard magic in that you learn things and then are able to use that knowledge to bend Arca to your will. But more recently, studies and experiments have identified that the magic does not come from the music or the poetry or the art. And that can be rather easily proven by the fact that many great artists and musicians and singers have absolutely no ability to turn those artistic talents into magic. And so it was found that bards, people who use bardic magic in the way that you do, have an internal connection to Arca that is born within them, and the magic unlocks it, or the art, whatever it is, unlocks it, and allows you to shape it.
Okay.
I
think my next line of thought, depending on how quickly I came to that.
With a natural 20, pretty quickly.
Okay. I guess my next thought would be to see what the compare and contrast is to that in sorcery-based magic, and why is the art whatever the art medium is, that a
conduit,
a gate, a conduit, or is it a gate? Because of the requirement as opposed to sorcerers.
It's kind of a little bit of both. It's there are various ways of it is described or classified: a key, a gate, a conduit. It is a method by which the arca, which is naturally occurring in the world, and your attunement to it, which is internal and natural, are fused and then directed. And a sorcerer is rather unique from your what you read, given your interest in those comparisons. It is the least conduit-driven form of magic. All of the others, pretty much, involve some tool by which arcanists are able to access and then form and direct the magic. And sorcerers, it's the most self-driven and least externally unlocked form of magic. But the bardic magic is close to that, and much closer than others would be, like a cleric whose magic is granted by a god, or a wizard who studies things enough until they can recognize like a scientific understanding of arca to where they can then mold it to do what they want based off of practice and understanding of that. Yours is you could sing the exact same song as someone else who sings it just as beautifully, if not better, but there would be not even the slightest hint of magical connection or unlocking from them if they don't have that internal attunement to arca. And because you have that and do the exact same sort of thing, that is your medium or your tool to open the pathway for that arca to then be shaped and directed through your spells. Also, with a natural 20, as you skim through various books, and some talk about internal naturally acquired magics and things akin to that, you find some research on Aasimar. Would you sidetrack at all?
Yes,
Okay.
I would go so far left.
Okay. You find it in the book you're reading because of intrinsically racial, in some way, connections to strange magics that Aasimar seem to have, which is why they're in here at all. And you find a few things. They're not a super populous race on Aanthara, which you know from your experience. Some believe they stemmed millennia ago from the progeny of celestial beings and mortals. Others say that that's a myth and that they were created by the elders with traces and features meant intentionally to mimic the gods' celestial servants. No one knows for sure, because that stuff was all before modern history. Some Aasimar are gifted with brilliant displays of internal celestial power and can sprout radiant wings or burn with bursts of radiant power. But this isn't necessarily intrinsic to all Aasimar, and many never acquire or unlock those abilities. Most are still identifiable by usually fine features, sometimes uniquely colored eyes, every once in a while a nearly imperceptible glow to their skin. And you find a section on fallen Aasimar. Something of a mystery, and the subject of a decent amount of scrutiny and study over the years. Some prevailing research in the realms of science and arcana suggests that these Aasimar encountered some great darkness or trauma in their earliest years. Many believe even from within the womb. And that alters or twists in some way the intrinsic racial power that some Aasimar have access to. Others say these conclusions are unsupported, fantastical. Some believe that they're concocted by bigoted parties that have malicious intent towards Aasimar. But in support of these studies, there are scattered reports of some of these fallen Aasimar changing their very nature by repairing or confronting the darkness that created it. That's largely what you find. Okay. Your watch passes. You wake up Eclipse? Okay. Eclipse, roll me a perception check.
God, it's something reasonable. Okay, 16.
Okay. Anything you want to do on your watch?
I think I'm just helping Edgeworth with the writing and stuff.
Okay. Yep. Very accurate. All right. You're trying to help him identify the difference between a G and a C, capital G and C, when everyone else starts to wake up.
And that's like, you just have to look for the little. It's got a little extra. It's just a little extra, is what she keeps trying to explain.
It's just seems so similar. It's rather difficult to. All right. I'll keep practicing. Thank you.
Of course. We'll get on it.
Okay. Everybody else wakes up. And a second day of travel is undertaken. Somebody, Brightwing, you can roll it. Roll a survival check.
I think we should take a break.
Okay, yeah, we can take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Oh, yeah, we should take a break.
We should
Good
definitely
gracious.
take a break.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take a break.
Okay, break time.
Maybe
Alright.
just a smidgen of
Thank
a
you.
break.
Just a little smidgen of a break.
Welcome back. All right, you guys wake up in the morning, prep to set out. Anything in particular anybody wants to do before doing so?
Long rest so I can get myself back.
You do, and Sam, roll a wisdom check.
Natural one.
Okay, you're staying at them points. All right, but you guys begin trekking again. Brightwing, roll me a survival check. I'm just gonna assume it's you from now on.
What if I don't want to do it?
You have
Then
to.
we were viciously lost.
Then you go find Eadwin so he can do it for you.
I will cast Summon Eadwin.
Uh-huh.
What a
He's
spell.
over there.
He is.
24.
24. Okay. You go for about maybe 2/3 of the day before you begin to see the pass ahead of you opening up and descending. You've been descending in general for quite some time, but it starts to do so a little more intensely. And over the latter half of the day, you begin to exit the gorges and sort of valleys between these peaks that you've been traveling within for much of this time, and getting to the outer skirting limits of the mountains, and begin to get visuals of plains. Sweeping wide plains. And then a ways away to the northeast, more mountains, which many of you would know is the northern half of the Karthcrest range. And based off of your previous discussion about kind of mapping out where you were, you get the sense you are kind of reaching the edge of the mountains and are now going to be descending down towards Hawkholm. Around sunset, a little past sunset even, so duskish, it's almost dark. You begin to reach an area that is within probably a few hours of the ground. And Brightwing, Eclipse, and Sam catch sight of firelight in a crevice of mountain a little bit ahead of you, down the path. What do you do?
Just firelight on the way down.
It's, yeah. There seems to be, you don't know what yet, but there is a glow of firelight ahead of you.
Want me to check it out?
Yeah, if you can.
Alright. I'll cast invisibility on myself and go down to
Okay.
look.
Okay. Roll a stealth check with advantage.
Natural 20 for 31.
Holy!
31.
Okay.
31.
31. All right. The rest of you don't even hear her pad away. She just disappears and then nothing. Sam, you sneak forward a couple 100 feet before you get behind a outcropping of rock and can climb up just a little bit to see where this firelight is coming from. And you see what appears to be a campfire. Megan, you might want to pull your mic out.
It was far. I'll turn the volume down.
It might not be you, but I'm hearing myself. Okay. You see, roll a perception check.
Perception 11.
Okay. It's not too difficult to see, so that's enough. You see 6 figures in what it seems to be a pretty established camp. Not the sort of quick up, quick down that you all have been building over the last week plus, 2 weeks even, that you've been with this group. More established, like almost a small outpost in a way. You see one figure that is wearing heavier armor and has a greatsword in a sheath on their back. All humanoid. You see two figures that have a pair of long knives at their hips, like a couple feet, and longbows, very elegant looking longbows strung across their backs. And you see three figures who are not bearing any weapons on them that you can see, but stabbed into the ground next to them, each of them, you see a blade that would have been very unfamiliar to you, except for recent experience with a certain member of your party who bears a double-edged blade. They are long, maybe 7 feet, with these two thin, curving, scimitar-like, elegant blades on either end, stuck into the ground next to them.
Would I know specifically what group those belong to?
Roll a history check.
Straight, just a normal one?
No, it's going to be with disadvantage.
Figured. Alright. Natural 20 and a natural 14 for a 21.
Okay.
21.
You do, and upon seeing the blades, you quickly, given that roll, also identify some of the armor, the shape of these figures, catch an ear as it turns in the firelight. These are Sildarian elves, specifically out of Cjbeards. And you know of these soldiers because you know this realm. They are a somewhat unique unit that uses these blades called Veil Blades, which you would know with that role. And I would say, though you haven't brought it up in conversation, you would have found it odd that Nas was wielding one when you first saw it. It is not commonly wielded by anyone outside of Cjbeards or military groups from Cjbeards. So you would know these to be elves from Sildari.
I'll go back to the group.
Okay.
And tap Naz on the shoulder. I think you got some friends up ahead. Specifically of you. And you feel your blade kind of jiggle as I move it.
Oh,
Is your
there
blade
is no
out,
blade.
Nas?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there
Oh.
is no blade.
Well, they have the same weapons as you.
Okay. I don't know if I'd be so bold to call them friends. I don't know anybody from around here.
Well, they do seem to be Sildarian, so.
Would I know much about Sildarian elves with these kinds of weapons?
I believe we have previously discussed whether or not you have ever been to Cjbeards. Do you remember?
You
can DM me the answer if you want.
Sent me some. Let me check. Oh, that's way back.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot confirm nor deny. Nope. I specifically think that would be a no.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Mhm.
I will say no, and I will not even give you a roll.
Yeah, that's fair.
You are not familiar.
So Dari on the northern side of the Karthcrest Range sounds questionable.
Yeah. How far outside of the city are we?
Roll a intelligence check, and if you want to have sort of been discussing this as a group, you could get advantage from someone,
Guidance.
which I would say you probably have been doing as you've gone. No guidance.
Damn it.
Yeah, not on memory stuff that you don't know she's thinking about.
Just 9.
9.
9.
Somewhere between a day and 4 days, but can't narrow it any further than that. Yeah.
Are we avoiding them?
Sam, it's worth noting that the by far most reasonable easy path down goes through / by their camp, and if you're not doing that, it will mean potentially making some cliff treks again.
Can I make a above table suggestion?
Yes, or you can make an under table suggestion if you want.
Well, I need to think this out,
Under
and I can't do it in my
That's-
accent.
That's not.
We have the hither thither staff, and we have a person that's invisible. We could literally just go around them and not even bother interacting.
That was my idea too.
Okay, back again. That could be the one suggestion. I was just...
Don't want to see what they're doing here?
Not with him.
I don't want to tell my brother that they're here.
I'm curious, I wouldn't lie.
I
How does my dad look
think
about
the
this?
answer.
Yeah.
Like hearing about
We have a
that?
civilian, y'all.
Yeah.
Does he seem interested?
Do you
he
look to
seem-
him?
Yeah, I want to see if he seems
Like
like his
acknowledgement?
interest is piqued or if he looks nervous about this.
Roll an insight check. With advantage because it's your dad.
Oh my god.
Dad advantage.
I give him advantage against you, so you get
That's-
advantage against him
It's
too.
very fair.
Although his insight's definitely better than yours.
It's 18.
Okay, maybe not. He seems furrowed brow curious. Like this is whatever information could be acquired in this situation could be potentially very useful. So in that regard, he's very curious, but also furrowed brow because he doesn't know what an encounter with these people might involve. Doesn't know if they're hostile. He's not sure. And I will say that as you sort of clock him, turn him, and clock him, he'll look back at you. If one of you, or I suppose all of you, if that you feel that's safer, were able to talk with them, it would be potentially incredibly useful to know why they're here. But I don't want to put anyone at unnecessary risk either. Don't consider this
Worried about
necessary.
you, but
Well, I
We,
can stay hidden.
We could send a bird.
to talk with them.
Well, could get the paper as well. Have it hold the paper.
Well, did they seem, based on the description, did they seem like innately dangerous, or did they just seem like they were just camping, like we would just camp?
No, they seem like and probably the way that Sam would have come back and described them to you, given that she knows them, is that they are soldiers, relatively, I wouldn't say elite, but like legit Sildarian soldiers that are dispatched for important things and not just like your run-of-the-mill foot soldier necessarily.
So, like, above table, they wouldn't tell a bunch of travelers what they're doing if they're, like, elite soldiers. If they're on, like, a mission or something.
Unless maybe a Soldarian comes and asks them.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
depends on the
that's
travelers
true.
and how they asked. Potentially. You can
But, like-
certainly try.
That's super suspicious and super fishy.
I mean, if we want to get,
one of them.
if we want to, I can get the portal up over there so you guys can cross and then go back and ask them some questions.
I'm fine with that. Anything
Should
that
I
just gets
stay
us
with you in
distance.
case we need to escape quickly?
Well, I can stay invisible. I have means of talking to them where I don't have to get close.
That's suspicious.
Well,
Is that fair,
Ask-
Megan?
Yeah, but yes.
Yes.
Ask yourself if you would respond to an invisible voice coming out of the void.
This is
Or
true.
in your head.
well, I'm more inclined to just say that we're not really trying to cause trouble. We just want to see
Mhm.
what's going on. So if we could do that in the most official manner, that would be kind of better. Just greet them, move on.
If you want the most official manner, it might... I know you likely wouldn't want to put me in the forefront, but it might be me talking.
I just don't know if they're here looking for you.
Well, it could be a defensive thing, after all. If all of this is a grand scheme to get people to look at Sildari, then it would make sense that they put up potential blockades on pathways that could go into the Karthcrest range.
Yeah.
Well, if that is the case, should we set the portals just in case we are not allowed to pass?
Yeah, let's do that. They last an hour. It's not a complete waste. It comes back at dawn anyway. Right. That's how that works.
Hmm.
Yep. Can't be used again until the next dawn. So yeah.
I'd say it's worth it.
Go ahead
I
and
can
set
do
it up
that.
and we'll use it if we have to.
Should we all go or just a few?
I would say if they...
We should all go.
Are we agreeing then that if they do not allow us to pass,
We will
we-
just portal by.
backtrack?
Correct.
And...
Yep.
Okay,
We
got
we
it.
do not cause any issue. We just ask if we can pass.
Okay.
I would not like to cause more suspicion or raise alarm. We just need to get through.
Do you want me to make sure I can be on my game and sure they tell truth?
No, it's fine. I'm not.
Should we send an early notice that there's a group coming up?
Yep.
Can I have a piece of paper and
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I misunderstood. Probably that
Oh.
too. I was
I
just
think
gonna...
Well, I think
I-
it'd be more natural for us just to wander in.
We should just walk up. Yeah. I think it'll be fine. We're not sneaking or anything. We're just wandering through.
Yeah.
I'll drop my invisibility.
No, not yet. You gotta get through the. You gotta get the.
Yeah, you
portal
gotta do
set.
the.
Oh, we're doing that first? I thought it was talk and then do
Nope,
that.
No. portal
Okay, I'll
first.
do that first. I
The portal's the
misunderstood.
Okay.
backup plan.
I
Okay.
misunderstood.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I'll set up the portal while they write their shit down.
You will need to roll another stealth check because this is a separate instance. Still with advantage.
Okay.
Guidance.
You can use guidance here, yes.
Do you
It
have
bumps
to...
that, but that was a 9 and a
Forget.
4.
Oh, do you have to see the creature with guidance?
Damn it.
Well,
I don't think so because it's touch.
touch a willing
Yeah.
creature?
I'll feel
Okay.
for.
You can
Oh,
see
You
her.
touch
Oh,
one willing
I'll
creature.
touch
Yeah,
Brightwing.
you can do it.
So she knows where I am.
Guidance.
Thanks. So that's a 9 plus 11, which is 20.
Hmm.
Plus 3, so 23.
A 9 for a 23.
9 for a 23.
Okay. Well, first of all, does someone tell her how to use it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you click one end, the amber gem, and you all watch Faye, maybe with a brief twinge of ooh. And you see that in some of you see that in Hugo as well. This large portal of crackling orange energy open in front of you. And then you go
How-
sneaking.
How dark is it, and how bright is the portal? Is this the middle of the
it's
night, or is it
duskish.
still the middle of the day right now?
It's not quite pure dark night, but the sun is down,
Okay.
so it's it's decently dark, and this is decently bright. But you are coming from above, and so that's how you were able to see the firelight.
Right.
It's possible, if not probable, that where you've placed this wouldn't be seen.
Okay.
In fact, I would say you could probably backtrack a few feet just to make sure that's the
Yeah,
case.
I put it in
Yeah.
a nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Behind
think
a
it's just
behind a
gauging
shrub.
the brightness of it, and then be like, make sure they can't
Hmm.
see that.
You sneak your way down, and you're going through the camp now.
Okay.
You basically have to go through the camp. So you very quietly move through. You see them drinking, talking, eating. From this distance, you see that the more heavily armored figure has an amulet hanging on their chest.
Mhm.
Roll a religion check.
Religion.
Hmm.
22.
You would recognize this sort of crescent moon, almost like a U shape, with these sort of swirling kind of motifs of wind in the middle, and know it to be the symbol of Leah, the radiant queen, the goddess of the heavens, sky, and stars.
Ah.
And you continue padding through quietly. Go, I assume, a few hundred more feet or yards down for the second bit.
Yep.
Okay. Click that. A large blue portal appears. Put it around a corner, so you should be okay. And then, do you want to walk through, or do you want to pad back?
Oh, I don't know if it makes a noise if I go through. I'll walk back.
Okay.
I'll take the
Aw,
scenic
very cool.
route.
You should just go pop.
Okay. You sneak back through. I'll maintain the same stealth check because this is all part of one trek.
Yeah.
Get back to your companions or allies. Portal set.
Invisible thumbs up.
With your stealth, they have no idea you're back, so...
Whose pouch looks the most snatchable right now?
Hugo's. Although he doesn't have one.
Okay. Then I'll leave it.
Hugo's, but he doesn't have one.
Yeah. It would be Hugo's, but he does not have it.
I'll just pop back.
Okay. You all see Sam poof back into
Oh, hi.
visibility.
All set?
Let's shut that.
All right.
Okay. You guys
I
gonna...
will say ahead of time. Might be best if they don't know that I have this weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame
Did you not
anybody.
acquire it in a nice manner?
Oh, it was very nice.
Oh.
For whom?
All parties involved, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Someone gave
Mhm.
it to you? I mean, you just did just appear with it.
Yeah, how does it... Do they all do that? Do they all just kind of poof in and out?
Sam, you would know no.
Haven't seen others.
Well, maybe this will give you a chance to get a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll start
Let's head
walking on
down.
over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your order? Are we staying with normal order, or are we going with talker order now?
Oh,
What's the first face people want to see?
meander a little more towards the front.
Okay.
It's Faye and Brightwing together.
Yeah.
I'll stay up front too.
And all right, Faye and Sam up front as well. Naz, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Yasnip, and I understand.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh no.
Mm.
Do you need to not?
Well, I'm starting to reconcile everything that I believe I should and shouldn't know. I believe that's something I shouldn't know, right?
What?
You may have to explain
Okay.
your thought process.
This may have been some headcanon that I made up, so...
I love that.
Love it. Is it a headcanon if it's your own writing?
Well, if you haven't expressed it to someone in an official manner, then I think so.
Is that right?
Hey, audience.
Yeah,
You should check
it
out our
is.
website.
Hold on.
We have
Check out the
updated
merch.
art. Check out the merch store. Check out the
Yes.
website.
So if that
I
is
just look at what I just replied to.
okay,
And if you would like to watch
And
Aanthara live, go to the Discord.
I would know that.
Yeah.
And brought to you by the storybook.
Not
Yes.
sponsored.
Okay. I'll yep,
Yasmin.
Yasnip.
Okay. All right.
It's easier of the options, I think.
How Faye, Sam in the front? How are you broaching this? Are you just walking
Trudging.
into vision quietly?
Trudging.
Walking loudly?
Loudly.
Trudging.
Whistle-
Like I don't want to sneak up on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will see Naz also pull the coat back a bit and allow daggers to be seen.
Okay.
They are not hidden.
Okay. All right.
Whistle a little tune so they know we're coming.
Okay. You head down this path. There's a bit of like a rocky outcropping that sort of surrounds their camp to provide some shelter.
Mhm.
So as you eventually finally turn the corner to where you can see into it, you see the what appears to be, based off what you identified, the more heavily armored warrior with the amulet, standing, greatsword now sort of in the ground, blade down, hands on top of the pommel. Both archers behind, bows knocked but not up, and all three of the bladed figures sort of spread out, holding the blade outwards in one arm. And the one more heavily armored one. Hello?
Hello. Have we stumbled into something here?
A camp?
Well, it's on the path.
This is not a well-traveled path.
Recognize that we're a bit not lost, but we enjoy the scenic route. We're just passing through.
Roll a general charisma check.
Also above table, is Hugo with us, or did we send him through the portal first?
He's with us.
He's with us.
He's in the
with
back,
us.
I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's with us. He's back with me.
A dirty 20.
Okay. You, at least some of you, are Khaing, yes?
Yes.
Hi, Casey.
Technically, yes, but
Technically.
he's not judging off of your looks, trust me.
Okay.
This is mostly off of Eclipse and Hugo. May I ask what you're doing up here in the mountains? As I mentioned, very odd for people to be traversing this path.
What Khaithians are doing in Khaithian mountains?
They're not sightseeing mountains.
We're on our way to Hawkholm. We have reason to not want to travel main roads right now. The main reason being it just wasn't fastest at the time. We also are ornithologists, and we were doing research.
Wow! Okay, roll
Yo,
a
back to the original
deception
line.
check.
The original lie, y'all.
What the fuck did you just say?
I'm hoping that's that.
He
I'm
probably
hoping that
doesn't
is
know
his
what it
reaction.
is. He doesn't know what it is.
It's cacked.
Oh. We're
Um,
researchers.
That's cocked between a natural 20 and an 8.
29.
Oh my
Lord.
god.
Slaughtered.
To the funny numbers.
I think Brightway's like, we're doing research?
And I'll gesture to the owl.
Okay. Ted? Is Ted out right
Mhm.
now?
That would have been like out all the time.
On your shoulder right now, probably?
Yeah, because he
Okay.
was going. I was going to send him in with a
Mhm.
note, but we didn't do
That's right. Okay.
Hey.
He looks at Ted as you gesture, and anyone with a passive insight above like 12 can gather that he doesn't know the word you just said.
Let's fucking go.
Very odd, but we are by no means here to stop anyone from moving. It's just curious. I hope you don't mind our questions.
Of course not.
We would react the same way to someone stumbling into our camp. It's perfectly understandable.
Perhaps not all Khaithian, though. He's looking at you, Sam.
Sildarian, and I will bow.
Okay.
Brightway will bow as well.
Okay. These are somewhat unusual times.
Maybe the armies can learn something from a group like us.
Indeed.
Politics is for the birds.
Seems very confused.
That made me laugh.
What?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I wish you safe travels then, I suppose. I don't know how much farther you intend to go tonight. It's quite dark. Perhaps you don't mind that.
It is no trouble. I can guide them.
Some of the best birds only come out at night.
He slightly narrows his
I'm
eyes. He's
tripling down.
baffled by this woman.
As he squints and kind of shifts for that, can I look for any comparisons of the double-sided scimitars? Do they look familiar? Like, are they like mine, or are they?
Oh. Roll a perception check. It's mainly just about seeing across the camp.
Not great. 8.
8. They look like your blade. It's possible that when you cross, you could get much closer to one of them if you wanted to and get a better look. But from here, just the very unique shape of it obviously stands out as very similar to yours. But more detailed bits of it, like, you know, particular scrolling on the blade or the wrap or anything like that, you can't quite make out from here. After he says that he sort of wishes you safe travels, the archers sort of de-knock their arrows.
So we just go through then?
Okay. He nods at you, Faye. I assume you don't actually do that, but he nods at you anyways. Naz, do you want to amble in a way where you end up a little closer to them? Okay, roll.
Yep.
I will say roll another perception check with advantage this close.
Okay. 11.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Okay. Being this close helps lower the DC a little bit, so you're not in terrible shape. Again, you can't make out the best of details. The both lack of light generally and even the way the firelight's reflecting kind of makes it hard to see things super clearly. But what you can make out at the minimum is that theirs look like if you were to have these in an armory, theirs and then yours among them, theirs look kind of more like standard issue, where yours looks like high rank, well crafted by someone important, for someone important, potentially. Yes, Brightwing.
With my passive 19, do I get anything else?
About the blades?
Uh-huh.
Are you particularly glancing at the blades as you pass?
I feel like, yeah, it was pointed out, and I was there the night that Nas was like, well, bam.
Okay. That's true. You actually were the only one. Oh, you and Aedwin. Or no, you and Seraph
You and
were the
me and
ones to see
Seraph-
it. Yeah, that's right.
Seraph and I saw it.
You would get a more solidified version, basically, of what I just told Nas.
Okay.
Between the way that, like, script is carved into his blade, some of the, like, accent pieces or bits that are, like, where the blade connects to the hilt, all of those things on Nas's blade seem more... I wouldn't say ceremonial, because you know his is very functionally deadly.
Yeah.
But just like someone put a lot of care and craftsmanship into his blade, as opposed to these were probably made like in a large factory, quote unquote, order of veil blades for this group of the military.
Okay. But they don't look like they don't look like they were made by the same person, or
No, they in
Okay.
fact look like they probably weren't made by the same person,
Okay.
based off of the more extravagant make of Nas's blade.
Okay.
But you've never seen these blades anywhere else. Not that you have the greatest trove of blades to go off of in your mind's bank, but it is notable to you that they have these blades that appeared in Nas's hand out of diddly squat nowhere once upon a night. Anything else you guys want to do or say as you move through?
Yeah, do they seem to recognize Hugo at all?
No.
Okay.
I won't even have you roll for that. Passive insight, they are glancing across all of you pretty evenly. Maybe a little bit more lingering on like Eclipse, who seems to quite clearly be the most visually presenting warrior, rather than staring down the robed,
The least
Archivist in the
ornithologist
background.
looking person.
yeah, the least
Versus
ornithologist
the
looking
most.
person. Correct.
I'll like if there's anyone. Is there someone that scans me? at one point while we're walking through, I'm assuming?
Yeah. They're all glancing across all of you, so yeah.
I'll make eye contact probably with someone with the bow. And I think I'm like behind Sam, and I'll turn around and I'll just go. And then continue walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll glance at me, I'll just look back and wink at them. Keep
Oh,
walking.
I was gonna say that. Twin winks.
Yeah. They seem not flustered. They seem like they're well trained, but certainly curious about your weird ass group. But you guys make your way through. How much farther do you want to go tonight?
Guess we go look for some night birds.
I don't want to be right next to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go a little
I
Almost
would
an
argue
hour.
for like another hour or so.
Another hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You guys make your way another hour. Set up camp.
Make sure
Uh,
to
I-
take down the portal.
Click
Okay,
the portal as you
how's it?
leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that way someone doesn't go take a piss and find a portal
Yep.
that takes them just slightly down the hill.
It's just for my continuity's sake. We did say we did it. No one can fight us and be like, they left it there for an hour. Nobody found it.
Okay. Anything anybody wants to do tonight?
I wanna send to my mama.
Okay. Let me pull up that thing. Okay.
My mare. I'm in the Khaing Mountains. Safe, and we are victorious in our endeavors. Hope you and Papa are doing well.
Okay.
Hope to see you soon.
Okay. It is good to hear your voice, Brightwing. It has been too long. I am glad to hear that you are safe. And I hope that when you say you hope to see me soon, that perhaps we will actually be able to. We miss you.
I did. I mean, I could
Okay.
send to keep going, but no, I don't hold the time.
Okay. I won't have you roll tonight. Next morning, you all wake up again. You are now low enough in the mountains that the cold has receded, and you don't have to make rolls. You're starting to get back down to more temperate Khaing climate. And midway through the next day, you reach the foothills of the mountains. Rocky, winding, not unlike the gorges you've been walking through in the mountains, but obviously much smaller. And you begin to pick your way through over the second half of the day. And eventually, you climb a small rise amongst these foothills to see far off in the distance to the west a structure that appears to be not natural, a city. Difficult to tell how large it is because you're not sure how far you are. And over the remaining 2-3 hours of the day, you find your way out of the foothills and down to a road which winds towards this city. Eventually get close enough to make out more of the details. Sort of nestled in between these foothills from the southern and northern Karthcrest ranges, first thing you noticed are massive outer walls, formidable and imposing, constructed of unimaginably huge bricks of dark quarried stone. Whether you know the history or not, and a couple of you probably would, you recognize these walls are made to withstand the fiercest of sieges and are a testament to the city's strategic significance as a defensive bottleneck between Kathos and Sildari from long past years of tension and conflict. The walls form an arc that faces you, and though you can't see them from this angle, some of you who have potentially been through or studied maps of this area know that they curve sharply back in almost a teardrop shape that points towards Ilmara and the heart of Kathos. As you draw closer, you can see battlements dotted with ballistae and trebuchets. And just peeking over the ramparts, you see signs of a city beyond. Tall white towers standing proudly and safely behind these walls, flying flags of various colors, and, oddly, the swaying boughs of numerous incredibly tall trees with silver white bark and amber leaves. You also see shapes gliding in arcing patterns through the air over the walls and the city itself. Initially, from a distance, you assume these to be birds, but as you draw closer and they grow much larger in perspective, some of you, particularly Brightwing, have a moment of dread as you see what appears to be several of those griffins you fought in the mountains. Before you realize, as you continue to walk, they are mounted and slightly different in physicality than those griffins. These are hippogriffs, ridden, as others in your party would know, by soldiers of the Sky Guard, patrolling the air above and around the city. As you eventually approach what you see to be a massive pair of gates of white wood. Rather than slats or planks, the entire face of both doors is carved into an endless tapestry of shapes. Warriors, creatures, mountains, crowds of people, symbols, and words. It seems to be the story of a city, or maybe even a realm, captured by some unimaginably skilled craftsman or group of craftsmen centuries ago. The gates are ajar, but are littered with what appear to be guards. Or, some of you would recognize based on the garb, soldiers specifically, both above and below. And as you draw close enough to be within ear and eye shot of many of these people, you hear, "Halt! By authority of the Sovereign Republic, state your names and your business here at the gates of the Kathos." And that is where we'll leave this session.
So Kathos or Hawkholm?
Kathos and Hawkholm.
Mm.
As
We're on the
coming from
border.
south.
You are.
Oh, we came up from the
Yes,
Coming
you
from
did.
the Heldier Pass in. So yeah.
Oop.
Oh my god.
Well, well, well.
Well,
All being Hawkholm.
Hmm.
Favorite moments?
Snowballs.
Snowball fight.
Snowballs, period.
That was
That
That's
was
it.
pretty great.
I
The
love that you hit
escalation on that
Brightwing.
was so much higher than I really
Yep.
wanted it to be.
We don't half-ass any of the shenanigans, okay?
Listen,
Ah.
I was gonna
Whole-ass
try to just
shenanigans.
do it until I
All
finally hit
shenanigans.
you, and then I was like, oh good. This went as bad as I imagined it would go.
Smack your own father twice.
Mm.
The other
That-
one was a natural
If
20.
If Sam didn't mage hand, I was gonna Misty Step and whitewash you.
Oh.
Oh.
Dude, that'd have been fucking brutal.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That would have been fucking brutal.
Yeah. 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 I'm glad I went.
I was like, I'm gonna control water, and I was like, oh wait, that's Addie. Addie has the control water. I have control flames. And I was gonna
Oops.
throw it above you.
Whoops. I just thought
I
it'd be
can't think.
fun. I'm glad it worked out.
I had a revelation halfway through
Oh.
the session that I need
Oh.
to address at some point.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I thoroughly enjoyed my
I like
private
the bird.
research book time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for real. What the heck?
My nat
That was
20.
sick.
This is the research that Faye left home to do. Check.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I loved that. I love the hardest
Uh-huh.
left turn. It was like, oh look at Matt.
Whoa.
Signet.
That was great.
Magic. What am I? Existential crisis.
Yeah.
I loved talking to Hugo.
Hmm.
I thought that even though it wasn't like a full set conversation, I just liked that it was a said and done thing. And I just love Hugo and your mom.
Yeah.
Just like hearing the reactions out of all of them was just really sweet.
Goals.
Right?
Mm.
That was really cool.
Goals.
Super sweet.
Yeah, this was a good session. It was comfy.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was like every like half hour there was some new conversation or thing that happened that I was like, oh, that's a good favorite moment.
Yeah.
It was just kind of spread throughout. It was a lot of good little things. Nothing like super insane or major, but a lot of good little things.
Mm-hmm.
The speak with Dad was
That was spooky.
Mm.
Irritating.
That went
yeah.
Irritating,
way better than I
yeah.
expected it to.
Yeah.
I'm
How
glad it,
dare
like,
you fail that that persuasion check on my behalf?
Mm.
Damn, that's great.
He talked to us, y'all. I mean, that's something.
He did
Yeah,
talk
but I think
somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see.
that's good.
There were some hard DCs to get more than what you guys got, so
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy's not friendly with you at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Also, the checking in on
Great
Cjbeards
stuff.
was very good.
Oh yeah,
Good
that
shit.
was nasty.
Mm.
Yeah.
Badge.
Hi, Batch.
Badge.
Hi, just in case you forgot about me, I'm still the creature of your nightmares.
I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it for be like, oh hey, sorry you're incarcerated.
Yeah, get fucked,
Hey,
bitch.
bestie.
I would also like to clarify when she looked to Nas said, having fun, hopefully, and she just went, are you having fun?
Because I thought I said okay. I was like, okay, having fun, and I knew I was gonna get hopefully, so I just.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was rough. Poor Cyrus.
That man
I
don't
mean,
need
also
no
fuck that
sympathy.
guy,
He's a
but-
piece of shit.
Yeah, true. All right. Lots of also interesting things uncovered in terms of what's going on or what might be going on that I did not expect to happen in this particular thing, but you guys asked a lot of specific questions and followed specific leads a certain way. So that's interesting. Alrighty.
We have, with our powers combined, sometimes we have one whole brain.
Okay.
I did not have it
Sometimes.
today.
That's what I meant. Like all of us together, sometimes
Yeah.
it just works.
We might have
Well,
found
that's
the
what it
second
takes.
brain
Like
cell.
put all of our brain cell rings together.
Yep. Good
Single
stuff.
neuron.
All right. We will see you next time in session 49. Ooh.
Oh,
Adios.
Oh.